This is a great website. How many here are familiar with the Prestige stat? Yeah, that's been a hot number on the residential side. It's also for light commercial, but it doesn't do all the stuff that we like in light commercial. But I've got one in my home. I can talk about it online. They are working right now on an interface to put that on a Web 600. So you'll be able to look at like 16 of these things with an interface, and you can put up to 4 of these interfaces on the Web 600. So in theory, you can do like 68 stats, and the stats are like what, $100 to 200 in that range, depending on the model you pick. Very, very price competitive. Doesn't have all the features of a D2C system, but if you got a building like a church or something, all they care about is it heating or cooling? Is it working with my night schedule? That's a fantastic opportunity. So I've got one in my home. Make sure I have it on here. That's my thermostat. I can change the temperature. Here's the humidity in the house. I've got 2 sensors. They're wireless. One's on the wall, one's from the stat. It's a wireless stat talking to a little box in my furnace. It has a sensor that reads discharge and return. And so if I tell it to turn the heat on, it tells me whether the heat actually came on. Reads the humidity. I can do dehumidification with this thing. And I have an outdoor sensor, 71 degrees outside. It's attached to my house. It's wireless also. And this will give me a 5-day forecast for Cincinnati. Oh, it doesn't look good. Thunderstorms. But this system would actually give me the ability to put 4 stats in one location. Now the way these work is they have the Red Link connection. Red Link is the same system that our security side uses for the wireless glass breaks and things like that for alarm systems. It also talks about this particular model of stat. It's not a Wi-Fi stat. We do have Wi-Fi stats also a little lower cost. The Red Link gives you the ability to put a lot more features in it. And it doesn't mess up your Wi-Fi system at home. When I say that, when you put a stat on a wall, it's Wi-Fi. A Wi-Fi stat would transmit, it goes on your system, and your router, if it's a wireless, will slow down to the speed of the slowest device on your network. Now, I believe the Wi-Fi stats are pretty fast. I don't know the wireless N or wireless G. I imagine the wireless N at this point. But if you have a wireless N stat, which is the latest and greatest today, and you get your computers, wireless XYZ, whatever the latest, fastest move is, and you put your router in, your router has to slow down the system to match whatever the stat was. You don't have that problem with Red Link. Red Link has its own network. It has a little receiver that plugs into your router directly. So you're not doing wireless with the over your Wi-Fi. You're doing it on a Red Link system. So we have that advantage, plus Red Link gives us the ability to do wireless sensors and all that stuff to bring back to it. So you can average up to 6 sensors around your house. I've got a little thing that it looks like a TV remote. It has a temperature on it. I can change the set point remotely. I can walk around with this. And I can take it upstairs to my bedroom, put it down and say, okay, my bedroom now is my thermostat. I can change it to this little thing now is my thermostat. So it controls my furnace from my bedroom at night. And I don't care what the temperature is in the living room at night. It's always in there. So it's a neat little toy. And they have here. That's it. That's all I have for tools and stuff. Is there anything you want me to cover while you got it?
Do you have anything to do with the EMOM stuff?
Yeah. It's actually the Honeywell version of the one here.
Yeah, I saw the notice that you guys acquired that.
Yeah, it's we acquired it last year. We moved it to a Honeywell factory. We've changed the model a little bit now. We've put out a lower cost model that fits on a DIN rail, as well as the ones that still have the metal boxes and the plastic boxes and so on. The NEMA 12 cases. EMON is a company, EMON demand meters, electric meters for sub-metering buildings. And it talks to the DDC system, to the control systems, and tells you how much energy the building's using, instantaneous demand and so on. It gives you all that information, the quality of the power coming in. It's a huge amount of data you can get off those things. And we have those, the different models, depending on how fancy you want to get, what you want to read. You want to read things in pounds of, or tons of CO2, you can give that output to energy savings and so on. You can't really calculate energy savings unless you can read it and know what you're doing, so that's why the meters are so important. We also make LED lighting. Honeywell just is introducing LED lighting into this country. We make it in China, and we've been selling it in China and in Asia and Europe. We haven't brought it to this country yet, we're just bringing it in now. It's got to go through UL and all that stuff to make sure it meets the US standards. It's basically fluorescent type tubes that are LED lights. A little bit more expensive than fluorescent, but the price is always coming down. As more and more of these things are made, you'll see the prices drop. Walmart, all their stores in China, there's like 100 stores, are Honeywell lighting, LED. And the reason for that is they paid a premium. I mean, it's not cheap. You can buy fluorescent tubes for almost nothing. Problem is, fluorescent tubes were out pretty quick. We're constantly replacing them. LED lights, they'll last 10 years. And when they say they last 10 years, that means when they drop their brightness down to 70% of the brightness level, that's considered a dead bulb, even though it's still putting out light. And the color rendition is so much better with LED that items in the store look nicer when it's under LED lighting. Color is so much better. So yeah, that's coming. We actually have it now. We have a couple fixtures, some for garages and things like that, for parking lot. Nothing for. We have a high bay light coming out for factories and for warehouses that hang from the ceiling. And we have the fluorescent tube replacement ones coming out that will be a whole fixture in there that you can take out the bulbs and put the driver in instead of the ballast. The driver was on 36 volts. You can dim them, and turning them off and on doesn't kill them like it does fluorescence. You can dim these lights and they don't flicker. Very nice. They also have one, and I can't wait to see this one. It's like a panel. And it would just, you take out the one of these panels and just put the light in there. And that's your LED light. And you bring the power to it, 120 or 240 or 277 I think it is for lighting. So you'll see that this year. June we're going to introduce a lot of products. There'll be sensors for the ceiling. So it'll read light levels and dim the light. You know, for instance, you got a lot of outside light. Why do I need that light running full blast? I can dim that down. And so, once again, green buildings. Why would someone buy something like that when it's probably twice the price of fluorescent? Well, because labor costs, savings. Plus, they want to be green. If you want to deal with Walmart, you got to be green. Toyota is looking at putting those in their Toyota motor sales.
And the payback a lot quicker too?
Payback's good, depending on your electric rates. Plus the electric company has rebates and all that stuff. But the real payback is labor. And down the road, right now they're, I think they're like 100-foot candles per watt. That's way up from what it used to be. And they figure another year or so will be like 150 lumens